Today on Hearts of Heroes.
Ow, my legs!
A young boy's quick thinking will astonish you.
I just want to jump in and get them out, but it was like really scary.
As 3 young adventurers are caught in a flash flood.
It was a raging river. We needed to do something and do it fast.
Plus, an explosive fire rages through an historic apartment building, threatening the lives of everyone inside.
We knew that we were going to have to go in and do something quickly.
Firefighters on the street were getting hit as the building is blowing up.
These are true unexpected heroes demonstrating unwavering dedication and bravery.
Who doesn't remember the freedom of summer break? Kids get to put away their books, play outside, and explore. But sometimes even the most harmless activities can take a terrifying turn.
When 3 young teens were playing in a creek bed and suddenly got caught in a flash flood, they would need to depend on their quick-thinking friend and a team of swift water rescuers.
Raleigh, the capital of North Carolina, is the 2nd most populous city in the state and can experience extreme and dangerous flash flooding, especially when a tropical storm's around.
Water is a very powerful force, and a lot of times we underestimate its power. It looks like it's going to be okay, next thing you know, you find yourself in trouble. Water is very strong, and it actually scares me more than fire.
Thankfully, Raleigh is equipped with a highly skilled swift water rescue team.
Typically, to become a technical rescue member, you go through about 180 hours of initial training. That gets you up to your swift water training, which is another 64 hours on top of that. You've got to be able to train exactly how you're going to be in those environments.
Now, as you'd expect, if you're a bunch of friends playing in the neighborhood, a tropical storm and flash flooding, not always top of mind. 12-year-old Gavin lives in a suburb of Raleigh. And one August afternoon, he and his friends went out to ride bikes and explore the wooded area just beyond their neighborhood.
We just thought it was a good day to go exploring.
Along for the adventure were siblings Andrew and Evelyn, and sisters Emma and Kelly.
We were going on a bike ride down a trail, and we were exploring there and trying to find new things to do.
But danger was about to sweep in.
That day, Tropical Storm Debbie was moving through our area. Conditions were overcast, windy, with heavy rainfall.
We knew that we were in store for some heavy rain and possible flooding.
The group came across a small creek.
So me and my other neighbor, Emma, me and her just crossed. It was like no rushing water.
We crossed the creek and we get to the other side, and then my sister and my 2 other neighbors, they get stuck.
A sudden flash flood overtook the creek, trapping Kelly, Andrew, and Evelyn in an instant.
They were like yelling and they're like, we're stuck, we're stuck.
The kids tried to support themselves using overhanging branches, but the rocks were just too slippery.
We thought we could cross it. I felt really scared because Andrew grabbed onto like a leaf, but he thought it was like a branch, so then he slipped, and then I fell, and then Evelyn fell on top of me, so we came like crashing down.
Kelly and Andrew managed to grab onto a hanging branch, but Evelyn was out of reach. She was about to be swept away.
I was freaking out, they were freaking out.
I just wanted to jump in and get them out, but it was really scary.
Young Gavin kept his cool and knew the best thing to do was to get trained professionals there as quickly as possible. He found his phone and immediately called 911.
I said that my neighbors slipped and fell in the middle of a flash flood. We need help.
Now, all they could do was hope that help would get there in time.
It was really scary. Everyone was crying. It was a really scary thing.
Coming up.
Ow, my leg!
We needed to do something and do it fast because she's getting ready to get washed downstream.
But first, a tip in case you ever find yourself in any type of crisis.
Emergencies can be stressful, but staying calm and knowing what to say to a 911 operator can make all the difference. Keeping your cool and providing clear information might just save your life and the lives of those you love.
Be prepared to relay these key pieces of information when you call 911. First, what is the nature of your emergency? Second, where are you located? And if you don't have an exact location, describe a landmark. And finally, let us know if anyone is injured, and if so, describe their condition.
Remember, information matters. Staying calm truly can make all the difference.
On a warm summer afternoon, a group of neighborhood friends were playing in their nearby woods when 3 of them were trapped in a flash flood.
We put our hands up because we knew there was a branch up there. So we felt the branch and we grabbed on.
On the banks of the creek, 12-year-old Gavin instinctively reacted.
He took out his phone and he called 911 and he told the operators, this is where we are, you need to come quick.
Andrew tried to reassure his sister and their young friend.
I was telling them that we have to just hold on and wait for someone to come and help us.
The call came in as people stuck in floodwater, and it wasn't until we were en route that I had heard that there were children trapped. It definitely elevates the urgency of the call.
The Raleigh Fire Department's swiftwater rescue team arrived, and even they were shocked by the power of the flood.
It wasn't even like being in the city of Raleigh. It was like being in a mountain river environment.
The first responders quickly formulated a plan and began setting up rigging for a swift water rescue. But young Kelly was struggling to hold on.
I was starting to lose my balance, and then like people were telling me to hold on, they're gonna come.
The initial thought was we're just gonna go in and get them, and then you look at the water and you realize how quick it was moving.
With no time to lose, they rigged a complex rope system attached to a rescue raft.
Lieutenant Hauser and Jen were the first in their water rescue gear, so we put them in the boat and launched it.
But before they could get to the frightened kids, the boat hit a rock and bottomed out.
I hopped out of the boat because we weren't going to be able to get the boat any closer to the children. So I got down on my hands and knees and made my way over to where the tree was.
Lieutenant Hauser knew he had to save Kelly first.
She was at the point where she was ready to let go. She was losing grip strength. Her feet came out from underneath her and were actually going downstream.
Right as she let go, the people grabbed her.
And we got to her just in time.
When I got to the first child, she just jumped onto me. So I just shimmied my way back to the boat, dropped her with Jen, and then just went back.
They put her in the boat, and then they came to grab me.
The way he grabbed us, he was like crawling over to us. He told me to wrap my legs around him. I was so scared.
Soon, they were safely on solid ground with their families.
I started crying, but like it was tears of joy because I was so happy.
I felt really emotional. I sprinted to my parents and I was really excited to see them.
They were completely innocent young kids that were just having a good old day and got caught into basically a raging river.
These types of extremely specialized rescues don't just happen by chance. They require hours of intense training.
Steve, what is this facility used for?
We have a tank here that's 40 foot wide, 80 foot long, 144,000 gallons of water in it, 10 jets across the front, can run at 7 miles an hour of current on the top.
The elite members of the Raleigh Fire Department gave Sheldon Yellen, of our sponsor, Belfour Property Restoration, a first-hand look at their intense training.
Here in this training facility, I've learned and realized how important it is to set this rescue up for success. The rigging, the process, the preparation, the coordination, everything has to be spot on and precise. You cannot rush a rescue.
All the way from how we tie our knots to how the knots build into bigger systems, how the systems affect the rescue, it all comes together and allows us to efficiently affect that rescue. It all starts with the details.
When I went in that boat and you asked me to get out of that boat, go make that rescue, I can tell you for certain, this is not an easy thing to do. The power of that current, and I was swept away in a moment. The training that goes into this, the knowledge, discipline, communication, and the ability to stay focused, all of that's got to come together for a successful rescue.
Yes, sir.
And the reaction that you had to grab hold of me, that was a natural reaction for you.
Yes, sir. We have to look out for each other. There's no rescue coming for us. We have to protect our own. When I saw you, I knew I had to get you and get you back in the boat. We work hard 365 days a year just to be ready for those times when we're called to help people like that.
Luckily for these boys and girls, there were trained heroes on the ready when they found themselves in danger.
This was a win for everybody. This is something that could have easily gone the other way.
It's gratifying to be a part of a team and to actually use the training that you've had and effect a rescue like this. It's incredible.
Of course, there was one other hero who had no training, but the instinct to immediately call 911.
He initiated a whole chain of events of getting us there, so he was part of the instigation of that chain.
I'm really grateful that they said that. Now I can finally say, like, I am a hero.
Coming up, a raging fire, a humble worker, and a rescue no one saw coming.
He really performed a lot of miraculous, courageous effort, setting the stage for us to be as successful as we are.
Many first responders utilize computers and modern technology to handle emergencies as quickly as possible. But what happens when those computers go down?
That's exactly what happened when a blaze erupted in a historic apartment building in Portland, Oregon. Luckily, heroes stepped up. Firefighters, emergency dispatch, and one brave maintenance worker.
The coastal city of Portland, Oregon is a diverse mix of past and present.
There's a tremendous amount of history to our city. Portland is a mosaic of older buildings along with modern construction. We have a lot of these historic structures that are within our response areas.
One of the historic structures is the May apartment building.
It's a 4-story, unreinforced masonry building that was constructed about 115 years ago.
We have tile from the 40s and 20s in it. We have vintage refrigerators. We have clawfoot tubs, along with a vintage telephone in every single unit.
In May of 2023, this building was ground zero for one of the worst fires in Portland's history.
This is a building that has had some frequent false alarms with the fire system, people artificially pulling the pull stations. So the residents weren't always considering the audible alarm as an actual event.
Since the last, I think, 6 or 7 months, we've had 24 false alarms in that building. So you can understand why the occupants think that number 25 is not a significant fire.
One person who did take the alarm seriously was the building's maintenance worker, Hector Velasquez.
I was working on the first floor in one of the apartments. A person came to me and said that there was a fire upstairs. So the first thing I did is I went to make sure everyone got out of the building. And I was starting to knock on doors because the people didn't know there was a fire.
Hector saw smoke coming out of one of the apartments.
A lot of people would go, oh my goodness, I better get out and leave or whatever, you know? He didn't think that way. He responded.
It wasn't about him. Sorry. It's about the residents. It's about the people that lived here. He cared more about them than himself, and he wanted to make sure they all got out safely.
911, is there an emergency?
Meanwhile, 911 calls went out to emergency dispatchers. But there was a problem, a big problem.
We had scheduled maintenance for our computer system that day.
This sophisticated system transmits vital information directly to first responder vehicles. This includes the exact location of an emergency, the building's blueprints, fire vehicles' whereabouts, water line and hydrant locations, as well as traffic reports.
We did not have the capability to send information to our responders in the field through the computer system.
Which meant that we had no maps of the building en route. We did not have maps to show us where the hydrants were at, so we effectively were flying blind.
So that day, I voiced the original fire call that came out, gave them the address and the details that were given by the caller. Normally, on a normal operation day, would have come via the computer system.
Now, as Hector was going floor to floor helping people evacuate their apartments, dispatchers manually directed first responders to the fire.
We were conducting a fire inspection really close to where the fire took place. And so we were roughly 45 seconds to being on scene.
You could see, obviously, it was serious from the outside. Right when we arrived, we knew this was a real deal, and we knew that we were going to have to go in and do something quickly.
Firefighters jumped into rescue mode.
We had people on the fire escape trying to get out of the building, and there's no ladder at the bottom of it for people to get down. We have to throw a ladder to it to get people off. So that took precedence over everything else.
Meanwhile, Jared Borland went in the building to help evacuate people from their apartments.
We were telling people they need to get out. By the time we got to the 3rd floor, there was a lot heavier smoke. We were just telling everybody they needed to get out. It was time to go.
These first firefighters on the scene quickly realized there was just no way that they could fight this fire by themselves. Coming up,
Firefighters on the street were getting hit as the building is essentially blowing up.
but first, some advice should you find yourself in a building next to a fire.
Large structure fires are inherently dangerous, with flames often spreading to multiple floors in just seconds.
These fires, like any other, also pose the threat of spreading to neighboring structures. Should you find yourself in a building next door to a raging fire, carefully and methodically exit your structure and maintain a safe distance until the blaze has been extinguished.
Fires spread quickly, so always be sure to be mindful and listen to the first responders. Remember, when it comes to staying safe, awareness matters.
In May of 2023, a massive fire broke out in an historic apartment building in Portland, Oregon.
I've been in the job for almost 17 years. This was the most monumental fire I've ever been on in my career.
With the first crew on scene in rescue mode, backups thankfully showed up soon after.
We had fire that, on arrival, was blowing out the window and extending to the 4th floor.
The construction style of those buildings does lend to rapid fire progression.
So once the fire gets in the wall, it's going to go up and it's going to spread out.
Just minutes later, the blaze was raging and truly out of control. Firefighters called a 4th alarm.
By the time I got to the 4th floor, there were several companies working on getting the fire knocked down, so I jumped in to start doing the search, but the visibility on the 4th floor was completely, there was nothing.
At a certain point, the fire was growing so rapidly and conditions were deteriorating inside for those crews so quickly that we had to leave the building, because maybe you put your own people in a position where now they are in some serious trouble.
But some were just not ready to surrender and asked for more time.
We did have a company on the 2nd floor say, we can't come out yet, we're still pulling people out.
Reluctant to risk the lives of these heroic firefighters, Chief Miller denied their request, immediately ordering all remaining first responders to exit the structure.
Maybe a minute after we got all of our folks and the residents out of the building, we had what looked like a smoke explosion on the 4th floor. Firefighters on the street were getting hit with debris as the building is essentially blowing up.
After 24 grueling hours, the fire was finally out.
We were there fighting fire for over a day. We didn't have crews leave until noon the next day.
It's one of those fires that tests you to the limit. Everyone was tired when that was done. I've never been more tired than I was after that fire.
Luckily, everyone made it out alive. Still, the building suffered extensive damage. Within hours, our sponsor, Belfour Property Restoration, was on scene to assess the damage and secure the site, putting up fencing to keep the public safe. Sadly, a year after the fire, the building was demolished. A bit of Portland's history gone. But everyone can take pride in the many heroes who stepped up that day. From the 911 operators who rose to the occasion when their computers went down, to the brave firefighters.
Our logo says always ready, always there, and that's essentially what we did that day.
It's incredible. The type of individual that is drawn to this job. We serve our community, we do everything we possibly can, we commit a lot, we risk a lot in the opportunity to save a lot.
And of course, one selfless maintenance man who refused to leave anyone behind.
He really performed a lot of miraculous, courageous effort prior to our arrival, setting the stage for us to be as successful as we are.
The most important thing for me was the people. That's all that mattered.
No matter what, these brave first responders are fearless, always rallying to protect lives.
And when they jump into action, we leap into gratitude. And while we're on that subject, we want to thank you for joining us right here on Hearts of Heroes. We'll see you next time.